Hi guys, welcome to video number 11 of the BB36 beginner guitar course. In this video we're going to be learning how to read guitar tabs. Now if you want to take this a step further, I highly recommend a video course on Skillshare. It's called Easily Convert Music Notation into Guitar Tab, and in that course the teacher does exactly that. So he teaches you how to take a music sheet, music notes, convert them into tabs so that you can play it on your guitar. This is especially useful if there's a particular song you want to play on the guitar but you can't find tabs for it. So you take the music sheet, which it probably has, and you can easily convert it into tabs so that you can play it on your guitar. That's a really useful thing, especially for songs that are not so popular, and if that's your thing, then you will want to learn that skill. So if you do want to check out that course, head over to Skillshare right now, because they are offering a 30-day free trial to the first 1,000 people who click my link in the description below. And once you're in Skillshare, you don't only get that course, but you get thousands of other high quality courses on almost any topic you can think of. So whether that's anything to do with the guitar, whether that's photography, web designing, logo designing, you name it, Skillshare has a course on that. And they're always coming up with new courses, so you're never going to run out of things to learn. And a really cool thing is that Skillshare is ad-free. So unlike other learning platforms where you're bombarded with ads here and there, Skillshare is completely ad-free, so you can learn in peace. So thank you Skillshare for that opportunity, and thank you also for sponsoring this video. Okay, so now let's get to the lesson. So one thing to remember is that not all tabs are written exactly the same, but they all follow this basic structure. So if you learn this here, then you can go out and read almost any tab there is out there. So this is what it generally looks like. You'll notice that it's quite similar to the chord chart we learned a few videos ago. And it's similar because we have these 6 horizontal lines which represent the strings on our guitar. So that's if you're looking at your guitar this way. So this is a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or E, A, D, G, B, E. Okay? But the difference is that we don't have any of the frets. And that's because this tab is actually a timeline. So you can imagine a pin here. It's going from the right side and just sweeping across to the left side. And whichever number it hits first, that's what's played first in that sequence. Okay, so that's what you see the tab as. Now, something to note is that if you're learning tabs, you have to know the song prior to learning the tabs, because this is not going to teach you the melody, it's not going to teach you the beat or the timing. So you have to listen to the song first, get familiar with how it sounds first before you can learn tabs. Now some of the more comprehensive tabs will have a bar, like a music bar up here, which will tell you the beat and all that. But for the simple tabs like this one, it's not going to tell you that. It's going to assume that you already know what the song sounds like before you learn the placements, the finger placements and all of that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The numbers here on the strings, these represent the frets that you have to play on. So on the chord charts, when there are numbers on the strings, that represented our fingers, which fingers to press down. But on tabs, that represents frets. So if we see number 3 on string number 6 here, that means we press down on fret number 3 on the 6th string. Okay, so if we see number 3 on the high E string over there, that means we press down on the 3rd fret on the high E string. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of how this all works now. So if we follow that in sequence in our timeline here, that should be something like this. 3 and a 0 represents an open string, so that's an open G. 3 on the B string, 3 on the E, 3 on the B, and then an open on the G. Okay, now tabs don't tell you which fingers you should use to press down on the strings, but some tabs will have a chord up here which tells you that you can basically do this chord shape. So it's a G here, so we can hold a G chord shape and we can easily hit all of these notes using the G chord shape. So if we follow this one here is a G chord shape. We can hold a G chord shape here, and you'll see that hitting the notes will be very easy. So we have the 3, 0, 3, 3, 3, 0. Okay, so that was that whole bar. Now let's go to the next one here. Now it's a D shape, so we can hold a D shape, and we can go from 0 here, 0. Now this part here, you'll notice that there are letters in between the numbers, and these letters here, H and P, that means hammer on and pull off. Now these are some techniques that you're going to learn later on another video. I'll just show you quickly what that looks like. So a hammer on is essentially when you take one note here and you use another finger to hammer on the next fret to produce another sound. So without using my right hand, I hammer it on again. Hammer it on the next fret. Okay, so that's a hammer on. That's what the H stands for. Now P is when you pull off. So using the same finger that just hammered on, I dig into the string and I pull it off to create another sound. Okay, so all in all, it'll be note in the second, hammer on third, pull off, and I'm left on the second again. That's why that's a 2, 3, 2. Because 2, I hammered it on the third, I pulled it off, and I was left with number 2 again. And sometimes that won't be an H and a P. Sometimes it'll look like this. It's a 2, 3, 2, and then there's like this line that jumps between them, and there's an H somewhere above the tab, or a P somewhere above the tab. Okay, so that's a hammer on and the pull off. So this whole bar should sound something like this. Okay, so here we have a new symbol here. This is the slash. So this is the forward slash that represents a slide. So here we have 1 slide to 2. So that basically is we're on the first fret, we slide it up to the second fret. Okay, so if that were a 2/4, that would be second fret, slide it up to the 4th fret. Okay, and if it's a backward slash, or if it's a higher number to a lower number, that means slide down. So if it's a 4 backward slash 2, it would be slide down. Okay, so here we have another one here that's 2/3, so 2/3. So let's play these two bars. That's the E minor shape and the C add 9 shape. So that would be something like this. Now the slide sometimes is represented by a letter S instead of a slash. So just keep that in mind when you're reading your tabs. Okay, so let's review a little bit. Let's play the tabs we just learned, these 4 bars. So again, imagine a pin going from right, sweeping all the way to the left, and you play all the notes in order. Okay, so that's really all you need to learn tabs. Let's just look at a few more here. So if you see that there are numbers stacked up against each other, that just means you play them all at the same time, because if you notice that the pin, when the pin moves this way, it hits all these at the same time. So you just play all those at the same time. So here we have 3, 2, 0, 0, 3, 3, so that's a G, the G chord. So you can either strum that quickly, so they're hit at the same time, or you can pluck them all together if you have enough fingers. And here we can see there's a 3 stacked up against a 3, so that's basically 2 strings played at the same time, both on the 3rd fret. Okay. And if you see the X's here, that's basically a muted sound, so it's either a muted strum or it could be a tap, depending again on the song. So again, you have to listen to the song first so you know what it sounds like, so you can play those more accurately. Another one here, if you see a B and an R between numbers, this is more advanced. This is usually for solos. usually on electric guitars, but it's good to know what they are if ever you stumble upon this. So a B is basically a bend, and an R is a release. So what that looks like is this. So we take a note here, bend it up, and release it. So if you'll notice, it's 7, 8, 7. So we're not actually moving up to the 7th fret, but instead we're bending the 7th fret until it makes the 8th fret note. So this is what the 8th fret sounds like. We're trying to replicate that on the 7th fret by bending it upward. Okay, and then the R is just let go. So that all in all sounds something like that. Okay, and lastly here we have the number inside the parentheses, and that means it's a ghost note. So you play it quieter than all your other notes. So sometimes it's just like a quiet echo effect or something. But that can also mean it's a sustained note or a note that just rings out, depending again on the song. So again, listen to the song first before learning the tab. So that was almost everything you need to know about reading tabs. There are a few more symbols you might run into, and I'll leave a link in the description below to some kind of chart that tells you every single symbol there is in tabs. So in case you run into one of those, you'll know exactly what it is. But the ones we learned here today is probably about 90% of what you're going to run into when you're reading tabs. Alright, so that was it for this video. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when a new video comes out. And if you want to check out more videos on this course, I have a link to the course playlist in the description below. And I also want to thank Skillshare again for sponsoring this video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.